welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rainbow.
And it is time for Superstars.
Emily Blunt.
Hollywood celebrities, lovely, talented people. And Emily Blunt, yes, is the star that we're looking at today. Normally when we do this, right, we're kind of talking about how they got into acting, their family, their first jobs, and what they're doing now. And of course, we could do that with Emily Blunt. She is a very busy, very popular, and very talented actress. And we will mention a few of her films, but actually, we're going to focus on a different part of her life. But I know, Rainbow, you're a fan of Emily Blunt, actress.
So I didn't actually know who she was for a long time.
Oh, really?
Because I think that she would sometimes play like the second main character. That's what I remember
I've
her
seen her in
as.
some smaller roles, but you actually remember her from one of the first roles where she really became famous.
That's right. That was The Devil Wears Prada with Anne Hathaway. That was like one of my favorite movies growing up.
That's a fun movie. It's a movie you can watch many, many times. And she kind of played the bad guy.
She was horrible, and
Right,
I hated her. I thought she was
remember.
so mean, and I also thought all British people must be super mean. And she just had this expression on her face, and that was like, I don't like this person. And then I grew up, and I realized she's super cool.
Okay, and it's an interesting character because you hate her at the beginning, but then at the end of the movie, you're kind of like, oh, she's not so bad.
You feel bad for her a little bit.
And that's a difficult thing to do. So we're going to learn that she's a talented actress who can take on difficult roles. And she also took on a very difficult challenge in her real life. And that's what we're going to be focusing on in our article, Emily Blunt, the star who beat her stutter. Let's check it out. One of Hollywood's busiest and most talented actors, Emily Blunt has starred in almost 50 movies, along with multiple roles on TV and the stage. She regularly receives great reviews for her performances and has wowed audiences in everything from action movies to musicals. But unlike many of today's big stars, Blunt never dreamed of being an actress when she was young. For her, acting was a tool that she used to overcome a terrible childhood problem, her stutter. All right, yes, let's look into Emily Blunt, the star who beat her stutter.
Part one.
It would be hard to have a stutter
And be an actress.
That
would be super hard.
Interesting. So let's find out what this is all about.
One of Hollywood's busiest and most talented actors, Emily Blunt, has starred in almost 50 movies, along with multiple roles on TV and the stage. So obviously she talks a lot because she has multiple roles. And the word multiple means very many, not just one, but many, and probably different types of activities or whatever you put after that adjective. For example, I have a sentence for you. The teacher made multiple copies of the answer sheet and handed them out to her students. So there are many different copies that were made, not just one. There are multiple, and sometimes there are different types. So Emily Blunt is doing a lot of different things, and she has many projects going on.
Interesting. I always knew her as a movie star on the big screen, but apparently she does television, she does stage work. So yeah, she does all these different roles or multiple roles. And then we read she regularly receives great reviews for her performances, and has wowed audiences in everything from action movies to musicals. It's true, it's true. But unlike many of today's big stars, Blunt never dreamed of being an actress when she was young. Yes, there you go. She's been in musicals like Mary Poppins, right? She was singing all the way through that film. And one of my favorite Emily Blunt movies, The Edge of Tomorrow. You ever see that one with Tom Cruise?
I haven't.
And they keep dying and coming back. It's a really interesting science fiction movie. And she's big. Actually, I think she beats up Tom Cruise at one point. She's sort of like the ultimate warrior. So there you go, singing as Mary Poppins and beating up Tom Cruise as a space marine in the future. She can do all of these different things. But surprisingly, she never dreamed of being an actress when she was young. You often read interviews with actors or musicians and they say, oh, when I was 4 years old, I saw my first play and I knew that was the life that I wanted or something. But for Emily Blunt, no, that wasn't the case. We'll find out why. But when she was young, if you'd asked her if she was going to be an actress, maybe the last job she would have picked would have been acting. She would have said, no, I can't do that, and there is a special reason why.
Oh, it sounds like maybe it was something scary. For her, acting was a tool that she used to overcome a terrible childhood problem, her stutter. Now, this is something that a lot of kids do struggle with, and it's very difficult. If you have a job that requires you to talk a lot, because stuttering means you can't really talk.
That's right. You have problem getting out words, especially when you're nervous or you're talking in front of a group of people. You kind of trip over your words or something like that. Kids often get it. I think girls might get it a little bit more than boys,
Is that true?
but I'm not sure about that. Joe Biden, the president of America, famously had a stutter that he worked many years to overcome. And of course, there's that famous movie, The King's Speech.
Ah, yes,
right?
that was amazing.
Queen Elizabeth's father, or King Charles, now his grandfather, King George VI, also had a stutter. In England, they often call it a stammer. It's the same thing. It just means you kind of have trouble getting words, and it's like your mouth or your tongue are tripping over certain sounds in the words, and it can be difficult to overcome. When we overcome something, this verb means to basically meet a challenge and be successful. When you face a challenge in your life, a big problem, you have to get past it. You have to beat it. You have to overcome it. You can't just quit and say, I can't do this, and
give
go
up.
home. I don't want to. No, you got to be stubborn. You got to be determined. You got to work away at it. And eventually, if you work hard enough, you will overcome that challenge or that difficult task you're trying to do. For example, Brian was finally able to overcome his money problems.
Oh,
he
good
got
for
a new
him.
job with more pay, so now he doesn't have those problems. There we
Can
go.
save money.
All right, we're going to find out how Emily Blunt overcame, to use that verb in the past tense, her stutter after we come back from our break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一次要介绍的人物是 Emily Blunt， 艾蜜莉·布朗。她可以说是好莱坞最忙碌以及最有天赋的演员之一。那有主演将近50部电影，然后也在电视舞台上演过很多角色。她的演出经常获得好评。不过，其实 Emily Blunt 小时候呢，从来没有梦想过要成为演员。在她童年时期，她有着严重的口疾问题。那对她来说，表演是用来克服口疾的一种工具。我们先来看看 stutter。stutter 这个字可以当名词或动词，表达口疾或是结巴的意思。那么 Mike 老师也有提到 stammer。stammer 也可以当名词或动词去表达口疾结巴。再来看到单字 multiple， 它是形容词，形容众多的或是多重的。Overcome 则是表达战胜或是克服。那这个动词它的三态是 overcome、overcame、overcome。好，那么刚刚老师就有聊到 Emily Blunt 演出的其中一部电影是 Edge of Tomorrow 明日边界。那这是一部科幻电影，里面的主角一再的死亡又重来，然后慢慢训练成顶级很厉害的战士。那老师没有用到这个 Ultimate Warrior 去表达。那我们补充一下 ，Ultimate 它是形容极好的、终极的或是最终的。那它是拼作 ULTIMATE。再来用到 Warrior 这个字 WARRIOR。那么 Warrior 它可以表达战士、勇士或者是武士。介华课文中。
For someone with a stutter, a career in acting might seem impossible. Starting at age 7, Blunt struggled to get her words out, often feeling embarrassed and ashamed in front of her classmates. These experiences caused her to lack confidence in herself, and she became quiet and shy, something that is difficult to believe today given how much confidence she has on screen. The turning point for Blunt came when she was 12. Seeing how shy she was, a teacher suggested that she act in school plays, thinking it would help her face her fears of speaking aloud and make her more confident. And although Blunt was doubtful to begin with, amazingly, the idea worked. All right, we are reading about how the very successful Hollywood actress Emily Blunt overcame a stutter that she had when she was a child. She had difficulty getting her words out. And as the article says, for someone with a stutter, a career in acting might seem impossible.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, that could be true. Some roles, some characters in movies might require a stutter, but you can't really stutter through all of your acting jobs. To have Shakespeare's speech being interrupted by a stutter might be difficult for the audience to follow along, and actors should be able to deliver their lines smoothly, and of course a stutter makes that more difficult. But Emily Blunt found a way. Let's read on. Starting at age 7, Blunt struggled to get her words out, often feeling embarrassed and ashamed in front of her classmates. Yes, it can be a difficult and embarrassing thing to have a stutter, and kids, they can tease and make fun of each other, so that kind of thing can make it even worse. And when you're embarrassed about a problem, often the one thing you want to do is just hide away and not face the problem, not get help, because you feel embarrassed about it. When you're embarrassed, you feel shame. You feel you've done something silly in public. People might be looking at you and pointing at you, laughing at you.
Talking about you.
When you feel embarrassed, your body kind of shows
you kind
it.
Of sweat.
Your face turns red. You might start sweating, and oh, I just did something really stupid, and everyone's looking at me, and you want to run away or hide or dig a hole and just disappear because you feel very embarrassed. You feel very silly out there in public. For example, Sam. Let's talk about Sam. Sam was embarrassed when the teacher caught her passing notes in class.
It was a love note.
Oh, she did something. The teacher probably made her read it out to the class.
Dear Tom.
Oh, no.
I love you.
Dear Tom, I think you're the best. Do you want to be
You're
my boyfriend?
hot.
Oh, my God, so embarrassing.
She was ashamed.
Yes.
And ashamed is very similar to being embarrassed. Ashamed is like, I did something wrong. I feel very bad. I feel guilty. I think I should not have done that. It's very similar to being embarrassed, and I think being ashamed is very negative. It's kind of even heavier. Embarrassed might just be my face is a bit red because I'm shy. Ashamed is like, I really got caught doing something bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a good feeling. When I feel ashamed, my ears turn red. It's like somebody's yelling at you and you're in trouble, so you feel ashamed and you feel very sorry. And of course, you have these strong reactions in your body and your emotions, and it doesn't feel very good. Okay, let's get back to the article. We talk about Emily Blunt with her difficulty with stuttering when she was young. These experiences caused her to lack confidence in herself, and she became quiet and shy, something that is difficult to believe today given how much confidence she has on screen. So she's definitely practiced a lot to gain that confidence, which is important when you're in front of a lot of people, but it was actually very hard for her at first.
It can be very hard when you're embarrassed or ashamed. It can really affect your confidence in a bad way, because your confidence is your belief in yourself. You believe that you can do the job, that you're good enough for it, that you're doing the right thing, that kind of thing. When you feel good about yourself, when you feel able to take on challenges, when you feel that people respect you or something, that will give you confidence. You believe in yourself. You think that even if things are difficult, you will succeed because you've done this before, you know what you're doing, and you're just a good person and you're in the right situation. Like Annie. Oh, not like Annie. Annie didn't have the confidence to sing in front of her class. Oh, that's too bad. She doesn't believe in herself. You can do it, Annie. You sing like an angel. Go for it. Sing that song and sing it out loud. I believe in you. Anyways, back to the article. So what happened? How did Emily Blunt overcome this stammer, get her confidence, and find the strength to go out and stand on stage in front of an audience? It says, the turning point for Blunt came when she was 12. When we talk about a turning point, this was a big moment in her life when things went from one way, probably bad, like being embarrassed and ashamed, to being confident and getting over that stammer. So something good happened when she was 12 that kind of made her believe in herself and made it possible for her to be an actress. What was it? It says, seeing how shy she was, a teacher suggested that she act in school plays, thinking it would help her face her fears of speaking aloud and make her more confident.
What a great teacher.
That is very interesting.
That's a good idea.
And it's also a smart thing because often people stammer or stutter when they're speaking, but when they're reading things or saying other people's words, this can actually make them more confident and stutter less. Yeah.
And although Blunt was doubtful to begin with, amazingly, the idea worked.
Cool. That is a great way to get over that problem and also discover a new passion for acting. I like that at the end of that article. We have more, though, about Emily Blunt and her stutter and her amazing acting career coming up tomorrow. So come back and join us for that. Until then, bye-bye.
对于有口疾的人来说，从事演艺事业似乎是不可能的。那么7岁开始 ，Emily Blunt 就难以把话说出口。她在同学面前常常感到很尴尬、难为情。那这些经历让她缺乏自信，于是她就变得安静又害羞。那同学们有没有觉得，去考量到 Emily Blunt 在电影中展现的自信，很难想象，就很难相信她在童年时期会是这个样子？我们先来看看单字 embarrassed， 它是形容尴尬的、惭愧的或者是窘迫的。那么 ashamed 它则是形容害臊的或是羞耻的，也有感到难为情的那种意思。那么 confidence 它是名词，表示自信、信心或信任。它的形容词呢就是 confident， 可以形容是自信的、有信心的。那么课文接着写到说 ，Emily Blunt 的转捩点呢是出现在12岁的时候，有一位老师看她这么害羞，就建议她演出学校戏剧，认为这可以帮助她面对大声说话那种恐惧，还能够让她更有自信。虽然一开始呢 ，Emily Blunt 她也心存怀疑，可是神奇的是啊，这个点子奏效了。好，文中她用到 turning point 来表达转折点或是转机，然后还有用到 the idea worked 去表达这个点子奏效了。那么 work 在这边当动词是表达奏效或是成功的意思。这边3个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 seem 当连缀动词，表示似乎、看起来，后面可以接一个形容词，或者是接 like 加名词。那我们来造2个例句。Our new neighbor seems friendly， 就是说我们的新邻居看起来蛮友善的，或是说 That seems like a good idea， 那似乎是个好点子。在第2个重点是 given 当介系词，可以表达考虑到什么，有鉴于什么什么，后面可以接名词，或者是接 WH 疑问词所引导的名词子句。那我们也常常会用 given that 之后来接子句，我们就造2个例句哦。Given her young age, she's pretty mature. 考虑到她年纪轻轻，她心智还相当成熟诶。Given that we don't have much time, we need to speed things up a bit. 考虑到我们没有多少时间，得让事情进行得快一点。 好，在第3个重点是 to begin with 的常见用法。第一种呢，可以表达最初一开始的时候，那常常会摆在子句的最后，像是 They didn't like each other to begin with, but now they get along very well. 他们一开始不喜欢彼此，不过现在他们相处得很融洽。那第2个意思，我们可以用 to begin with 来表达首先。第一怎么样，是用来列举说明，常常会摆在句首。像我也可以说 I don't like the movie. To begin with, the plot is boring and predictable. 我不喜欢那部电影。首先它的故事情节很无聊，而且可以预测得到。然后你接下来就可以列举其他的原因。好，那么以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
One of Hollywood's busiest and most talented actors, Emily Blunt has starred in almost 50 movies, along with multiple roles on TV and the stage. She regularly receives great reviews for her performances and has wowed audiences in everything from action movies to musicals. But unlike many of today's big stars, Blunt never dreamed of being an actress when she was young. For her, acting was a tool that she used to overcome a terrible childhood problem, her stutter. For someone with a stutter, a career in acting might seem impossible. Starting at age 7, Blunt struggled to get her words out, often feeling embarrassed and ashamed in front of her classmates. These experiences caused her to lack confidence in herself, and she became quiet and shy, something that is difficult to believe today given how much confidence she has on screen. The turning point for Blunt came when she was 12. Seeing how shy she was, a teacher suggested that she act in school plays, thinking it would help her face her fears of speaking aloud and make her more confident. And although Blunt was doubtful to begin with, amazingly, the idea worked.
Fengjia Star is the first night market mall ever built in Taiwan, in which all the food vendors use natural gas. The shopping district on the first floor is divided into 6 sections, from A to F. You can find more than 70 stores here, which offer creative local snacks, popular dishes from the night markets all across Taiwan, fashionable clothing, children's clothing, original handmade objects, and more. There are also different game zones that include balloon shooting, ring toss, mahjong, bingo, as well as Emax's virtual reality space. The mall can satisfy all of your needs. The second floor has a 992 square meter relaxation area where visitors can enjoy the snacks they purchase from the stalls. There are free cultural and artistic performances held from time to time in the stage area too.